Netflix and Disney Plus have officially unveiled their 2026 K-drama lineups, and they're stacked. Big stars, bold concepts, and must-watch originals. Here are all confirmed 2026 K-dramas on both platforms, including teasers and everything confirmed so far. Let's go! 23. Bloody Flower.
남은 10명 어디에 유기했어?
사체에서 피를 다 뽑아냈어요.
Bloody Flower follows Lee Woo-gyum, played by Ryeon, a medical school dropout arrested for horrific crimes, only for authorities to uncover that he may be the only person capable of curing incurable diseases, including cancer. His condition is chilling. He'll give humanity his life-saving medical technology only if he's never punished for the 223 deaths tied to his human experiments, threatening to die and take the cure with him. Caught in the crossfire is a desperate lawyer, played by Sung Dong-il, who needs Woo-gyum alive to save his daughter, and an ambitious prosecutor, played by Guillaume Zayrok, determined to secure his death sentence no matter the cost. Bloody Flower premieres February 4th, 2026, exclusively on Disney Plus, and it's already shaping up to be one of the most divisive, conversation-heavy thrillers of the year. 22. The Art of Sarah.
그때 결심한 거야. 현실을 바꿀 수 없다면 자신을 바꾸겠다고.
Get ready for a Netflix thriller that'll keep you guessing every episode. The Art of Sarah is one of 2026's most anticipated mystery crime dramas. Led by Shin Ye-soon as Sarah Kim, a woman who has built a glittering reputation in high society by crafting a fake luxury brand identity, this series dives headfirst into deception, ambition, and the price of living a lie. When a body believed to be hers turns up under mysterious circumstances in Seoul's upscale district, Detective Park Moo-gyong, played by Lee Jun-hyuk, takes on the case, unraveling layer after layer of Sarah's secret life and identities that don't quite add up. Confirmed to stream on Netflix this February 13th. 21. In Your Radiant Season.
1년 전 여름?
그 친구한테 무슨 일 있지 않았어?
찬아, 사랑해.
In Your Radiant Season pairs Lee Sung-kyung and Chae Jong-hyop in a slow-burn love story rooted in timing, healing, and emotional honesty. Lee Sung-kyung plays Song Ha-ran, a celebrated fashion designer who looks untouchable on the outside, but has quietly shut herself off after personal loss, while Chae Jong-hyop stars as Sun Woo-chan, a gentle character designer whose warmth hides lingering pain from a past accident. Expect comforting conversations, emotional restraint, and chemistry that feels natural rather than dramatic. Confirmed to stream on Disney Plus in February. 20. Boyfriend on Demand.
서비스 이름은 뭐예요?
월간 남친.
If you thought K-dramas were running out of fresh rom-com ideas, think again. Boyfriend on Demand is already shaping up to be one of 2026's most talked-about releases, pairing Jisoo and Seo In-guk in a slick, modern romantic comedy with a very 2026 twist. Set inside a high-pressure webtoon company, the story follows two rival producers competing over a revolutionary platform that allows users to subscribe to a virtual boyfriend service until their cutthroat professional rivalry starts blurring into something dangerously personal. Confirmed for a 2026 release on Netflix. 19. Perfect Crown.
좋아. 혼인하시죠.
고작 이름뿐인 신분을 얻겠다고.
Quite possibly the most anticipated K-drama of the lineup, Perfect Crown is set in an alternate modern Korea ruled by a constitutional monarchy, where love is risky and status is everything. The drama unites IU and Byeon Woo-seok in a pairing that already feels inevitable. IU plays Sung Hee-ju, a brilliant chaebol heiress with everything except royal blood, while Woo-seok is Grand Prince Yi-won, the king's second son trained to live quietly beneath his title. They enter a contract marriage out of necessity, not love, but stolen glances and unspoken understanding slowly turn it into something fragile, forbidden, and dangerously real. Expect slow burn tension, restrained longing, and a romance built on everything they're not allowed to want. Streaming globally on Disney Plus in April 2026. 18. The WONDERfools. This drama is already operating on blockbuster-level buzz, and it hasn't even premiered yet. The WONDERfools is Netflix's wildly anticipated superhero K-drama led by Park Yoon-bin and Cha Yoon-woo, backed by a stacked ensemble that includes scene stealers like Kim Hae-suk and Choi Dae-hoon. The story follows a group of ordinary people who suddenly gain superpowers by chance, turning their everyday lives into unpredictable chaos. Blending comedy, heart, and unexpected hero moments, The WONDERfools promises a refreshingly human take on the genre. Set to premiere in the second quarter of 2026 on Netflix, this is shaping up to be one of those dramas everyone watches and everyone talks about. 17. Sold out again today.
흰꽃놀이 버섯이구나. 버섯을 달라는데요? 제가 이 버섯에 대해서 얼마나 공부하고 온 줄 아세요? 재계약권 다시 한 번만 생각해봐 주시면 안 될까요?
This upcoming rom-com brings together Ahn Hyo-seop as Matthew Lee, also known as Maichuri, the world's only farmer growing a miraculous ingredient, and secretly the CEO of a cosmetics ingredient company with a mysterious past, and Chae Won-bin as Dam Ye-jin, a wildly successful home shopping host whose non-stop work ethic has pushed her into extreme insomnia. Set between a quiet village and the high-pressure world of live commerce, the drama leans into opposites attract energy, healing romance, and late-night vulnerability. Confirmed to premiere on Netflix in the second quarter of 2026. 16. Teach You a Lesson.
아화진입니다. 쓰레기 같은 학교를 특별 지도하는 곳입니다.
Teach You a Lesson flips the genre on its head by throwing discipline, justice, and moral gray areas straight into the classroom. Led by a stacked cast including Kim Moo-yeol, Lee Sung-min, Jin Ki-ju, and P.O., the drama follows a group of adults tasked with keeping increasingly out-of-control students in line, using methods that blur the line between education and punishment. Dark, confrontational, and built for debate, this series leans hard into uncomfortable questions about power, accountability, and how far is too far when the system fails. Set to premiere on Netflix sometime in around April-June, making it one of the platform's most provocative mid-year releases to watch. 15. Notes from the Last Row.
동경하고 열등감을 느끼는 대상?
너 쓰고 싶은 게 뭐야?
If you're into quietly intense, prestige-level K-dramas, this one's already a standout. Notes from The Last Row pairs breakout star Choi Hyun-wook with legendary actor Choi Min-sik in a tense, character-driven story set inside a university classroom. Choi Hyun-wook plays a mysterious student who always sits in the last row, silently observing, while Choi Min-sik stars as a sharp, intimidating professor who becomes increasingly intrigued and unsettled by him. What starts as subtle curiosity slowly turns into a psychological battle of intellect, power, and control. Confirmed for a 2026 release on Netflix. 14. If Wishes Could Kill.
내 소원은 너희가 다 죽는 거야.
This one taps straight into your darkest, what would you wish for, thoughts. If Wishes Could Kill is officially Netflix's first ever Korean young adult horror series, and it's leaning all the way into Gen Z fears. Starring Kang Mi-na, Baek Soon-ho, and a rising teen ensemble, the drama follows students who download a mysterious wish-granting app, only to realize every wish comes with a brutal, irreversible price. What starts as curiosity quickly spirals into paranoia, guilt, and survival, blending social horror with emotional stakes that hit uncomfortably close to home. Dark, addictive, and sharply modern, this is Netflix clearly targeting the next wave of younger K-drama fans, set to premiere on Netflix in 2026. 13. Bloodhounds, Season 2.
전 세계 1등 먹자!
Bloodhounds is back, and it's going bigger, darker, and way more dangerous. Season 2 reunites Woo Do-hwan and Lee Sang-yi as Gun-woo and Woo-jin, this time diving headfirst into an illicit international boxing league that operates far beyond the loan shark world of Season 1. Their mission? Take down a criminal network that profits off underground fights, corruption, and brutality. Enter the new threat, Rain as Baek-jong, a ruthless powerhouse who is threatening to pull Gun-woo into the league's dirty business. Expect brutal fights, higher stakes, and a friendship tested under extreme pressure. Confirmed to stream on Netflix in 2026, Bloodhounds 2 is shaping up to be louder, meaner, and even more addictive than Season 1. 12. Gold Land.
1,500원. 누구도 어딘지 알면 안 돼.
Goldland is a dark crime thriller set in a lawless area where money, violence, and survival blur into one ugly reality. Park Bo-young stars as Kim Hee-ju, an ordinary woman whose life takes a dangerous turn after she becomes entangled in Goldland's criminal underworld. Kim Sung-chul plays Woo-gi, a volatile figure deeply rooted in that world, whose presence pulls Hee-ju further into chaos, while Lee Kwang-soo takes on a rare serious role as Kim Jin-man, a man driven by ambition and greed as everything around him starts to collapse. Confirmed to stream on Disney Plus in 2026, this one already feels like a prestige thriller that'll seriously change how people see its cast. 11. The East Palace.
왕권을 위협하는 존재는 인간이든 귀신이든 누구든!
The East Palace officially marks Nam Joo-hyuk's return after military enlistment, and Netflix is clearly making it count. Nam Joo-hyuk stars as a crown prince navigating the brutal politics of the royal court, caught between duty, ambition, and survival inside the East Palace, the most dangerous seat of power. He's joined by Ro Yoon-seo, who plays a sharp, mysterious woman drawn into the palace's inner circle, where loyalty is never guaranteed, and Cho Sung-woo, who portrays a formidable figure at the heart of the court, whose intelligence and authority make him both an ally and a threat. Set to premiere on Netflix in 2026, The East Palace is already shaping up to be one of the year's most anticipated historical dramas. 10. Mousetrap.
3년 만에 기어 나왔네, 이 쥐새끼 같은 놈이.
If you like your K-dramas dark, gritty, and morally messy, Mousetrap should already be on your radar. Starring Ryu Jun-yeol and screen legend Sul Kyung-gu, this thriller centers on a desperate man who forms an uneasy alliance with a ruthless loan shark to survive a financial and moral freefall. Ryu Jun-yeol plays a man cornered by debt and bad choices, while Sul Kyung-gu embodies a terrifyingly calm predator who always has the upper hand. Performance-driven, tense, and unapologetically bleak, Mousetrap is confirmed to stream on Netflix in 2026. 9. Our Sticky Love.
정말 아무 기억이 안 나? 내가 남자친구라는 게 그렇게 납득이 안 돼?
네.
아니 뭐 저런...
Amnesia romances are back, and this one comes with a suspiciously charming twist. Our Sticky Love stars Ha Young as a woman who wakes up with no memories, only to be greeted by Jung Hae-in, who calmly and very confidently claims to be her boyfriend. With her past erased and her present suddenly rewritten, she's forced to rely on the one person she can't quite trust, even as their chemistry feels oddly real. Confirmed for a 2026 release on Netflix, Our Sticky Love is shaping up to be a comfort rom-com with emotional depth. 8. The Scandal.
내 성공하면 어찌하시려고?
상을 드려야지요. 9개서 원하는 무엇이든.
Set in the Joseon period, Madame Jo, played by Sun Ye-jin, is brilliant, charming, and quietly furious at the rigid rules that keep women powerless. Bored of playing nice, she sparks chaos by proposing a dangerous game of temptation to her admirer Jo Won, played by Ji Chang-wook, a handsome flirt who doesn't believe in love and treats romance like a sport. Confident he can win, Jo Won accepts the bet and immediately makes things messier by pursuing Hee Yeon, a widow sworn to chastity played by Nana. Streaming on Netflix in 2026, The Scandal is shaping up to be a bold, messy, high-tension historical drama. And honestly, we're already seated. 7. The Remarried Empress.
이혼을 해야겠다.
The Remarried Empress centers on Empress Navier, played by Shin Min-ah, a poised, brilliant ruler whose marriage implodes when her husband, Emperor Sovieshu, played by Ju Ji-hoon, brings a mistress into the palace and demands a divorce. Navier's answer? She agrees, on the condition that she remarries. Enter Heinrich, played by Lee Jong-suk, a charming foreign prince with hidden motives, and Rashta, played by Lee Se-young, a former slave-turned-concubine whose ambition ignites a ruthless power struggle. Expect sweeping court politics, slow-burn romance, and lavish set design and costumes that turn every scene into a statement. Streaming globally on Disney Plus in 2026, this one is built for obsession. 6. A Shop for Killers Season 2.
계십니다.
잘 들어 정지현. 이제부터 넌 스스로 살아남아야 해. 기들 업그레이드 했네.
Things are about to get deadlier and far more personal. A Shop for Killers Season 2 brings back Lee Dong-wook and Kim Ye-jun as the lethal uncle-niece duo pulled into an even darker world of professional assassins. With the shop's secrets now exposed, they face a new wave of killers, bigger organizations, and enemies who know exactly how they operate. Expect sharper tactics, higher body counts, and a story that digs deeper into the origins of the shop and the brutal rules governing this underground network. Faster, bloodier, and more intense, Season 2 raises the stakes on every level. Confirmed to stream on Disney Plus in 2026, this sequel is clearly here to remind everyone why A Shop for Killers became such a breakout hit. 5. Dead End Job.
시작합니다.
This one asks a terrifying question. What if the perfect part-time job was actually a trap? Dead End Job stars Lee Jae-wook as Hyuk-jun, a broke young guy who signs up for a suspiciously amazing gig, paying 50 times the normal hourly wage through a sketchy agency called Spider Human Resource Center. Predictably, things go downhill fast. Strange rules, creepy coworkers, and a workplace that feels more like hell than a job. A mystery horror fantasy that turns side hustles into survival games, Dead End Job is confirmed to hit Netflix in 2026, and it already feels way too relatable for comfort. 4. Road. If you're craving a dark prestige thriller that feels unapologetically intense, Road is already one of Netflix's most exciting 2026 bets. Starring Sun Suk-koo and Japanese powerhouse Nagayama Eita, the drama follows two investigators pulled into a chilling series of gruesome murders that stretch across borders. Sun Suk-koo plays a relentless, emotionally guarded investigator, while Nagayama Eita brings a colder, more unpredictable edge, creating a partnership built on tension rather than trust. Confirmed 2. Stream on Netflix in 2026, Road is shaping up to be a bleak, nerve-rattling thriller that thriller fans and Sun Suk-koo loyalists will absolutely not shut up about once it drops. 3. Take Charge of My Heart.
입술 부딪히셨을 때요. 느낌 없으셨어요? 뭔가 찌릿?
Starring Kim Young-kwang and Chae Soo-bin, the drama blends romance and light fantasy with a modern, techie twist. After a freak accident, the male lead discovers his heart literally needs recharging, and the only person who can stabilize him just happens to be the woman he keeps crossing paths with. What starts as an inconvenient connection slowly turns into something emotional, tender, and unexpectedly swoon-worthy. Set to stream globally on Netflix in 2026, Take Charge of My Heart is shaping up to be a comfort watch with just enough fantasy to keep things fresh. 2. Tantara.
이쁘게 컸네?
너 바람둥이 됐냐?
Get ready for one of 2026's most eagerly awaited Netflix masterpieces. Tantara is shaping up to be the drama everyone talks about by year's end. Tantara brings together industry heavyweights Gong Yoo and Song Ye-kyo as childhood friends whose lives reconnect years later, setting the stage for a deeply emotional, character-driven story about ambition, choices, and the cost of chasing dreams. And the supporting cast, stacked with stars who could easily headline their own dramas. Cha Seung-won, Lee Ha-ni, and Kim Seo-hyun. Confirmed to stream on Netflix in 2026. 1. Portraits of Delusion.
사람 마음을 움직이는 힘이 있어. 끝까지 그것을 믿지 마.
Portraits of Delusion stars Kim Seon-ho as a gifted painter who becomes mesmerized by a mysterious woman with an almost unreal presence, played by Suzy. As he paints her portrait, his fascination deepens into fixation, and the line between inspiration and madness begins to blur. What starts as artistic admiration slowly turns eerie, emotional, and psychologically charged, hinting that the woman in the portrait may be far more dangerous than she appears. Expect lush visuals, haunting tension, and a slow descent into desire, illusion, and loss of control. With its gothic romance vibes and performance-driven intensity, Portraits of Delusion is already shaping up to be one of 2026's most visually striking and unsettling dramas. And that wraps up our list. Drop your most anticipated 2026 K-drama in the comments. I'm torn, but Tantara has my full attention. Up next, since we're already in Netflix territory, let's see which Netflix K-dramas are pulling the biggest numbers right now.